All right, I'm Nick. It's day 2. We have the Kimber R7 Mako carbon compact here. Put 100 rounds through it yesterday. We had a small magazine issue. The follower was stuck down. I think that's been worked out since then. I think the magazine is breaking in, okay? Outside of that, I don't think we had any issues. We did notice that the trigger reset is extremely long, so we'll pull that trigger, we'll reset it, and then watch how far. Boom. That's a long ways, okay? Obviously, hopefully you guys heard that click. It's a long ways. So yesterday when we were shooting it, I messed it up a few times. You get used to shooting guns with a smaller reset on the trigger, and it's kind of interesting. I did change out the back strap from the factory one, which was a medium, to the large. As you guys can see, it sticks out, has quite a hump right there, but it does fit my hand a bit better. I like that. And I do like the front sight being bright orange. Obviously, they're night sights. I like that front sight a lot. The red dot is currently off. Ideally, you guys can tell. I'm going to shoot it without the red dot. I didn't want to take it off of there, though. We're going to put another 100 rounds through it today. And then when we get the 400 rounds or so, we'll turn that optic back on. I like to shoot the guns without the dot first. And if you haven't ever shot a gun with the red dot on the gun but off, it does look a little bit different, okay? So if you do carry a dot, you should consider shooting your pistol without it. That way you get used to looking through the sight. It is different. It does mess with your mind a little bit, okay? But off we go. Hopefully we don't have any malfunctions. All right, suck. I won't lie to you. I forgot about that. Being left-handed and having this design, the brass is ejected into my thumb. After the second shot, I won't lie, that one actually kind of hurt a bit. It didn't hurt yesterday. That one hurt. I think it caused me to flinch. I won't lie to you. Ah, that reset. Okay, that was a terrible display of shooting. No excuses. I'm just terrible. All right. The gun is shooting really high. You see that out there? You slow down. The gun is shooting high. If you look right here, it was shooting high right here too. Other time I shot low. All right, it's beating up my finger pretty good today. We're gonna just take one for the team. We're gonna keep shooting it. At least I got this from 30 rounds. All right, we're not complaining. Remember, this is just we don't make reviews. We pull the guns out, we shoot them. Whatever happens, happens, okay? And remember, I'm just an average dude. Sometimes I suck at shooting. It is what it is. And you should never take advice from people on YouTube. You should buy all the guns for yourself, like I do, the reason we started the channel. And you should experiment yourself. I will say, out of the box, yesterday and today, I'm pretty underwhelmed, okay? I said this a bunch of times in the past. If you find a person who truly likes a gun, say a person on YouTube making videos, and they make a lot of videos about a gun, it's because they enjoyed shooting it. If you go look and do some research, there are a lot of people who made videos about this gun, but they made one video, and then you never see it again. That is an indicator of a flaw, maybe, or something that maybe they didn't like it. Maybe they didn't enjoy shooting it. That magazine is really hard to load again. So we're just going to put 14 in there and not 15 and see how it does. If you look at it, we've only put 14 in there, but it currently indicates that there's 15 in there, but this was the 15th round. So keep that in mind. Maybe the magazines aren't properly seated perfectly just yet, and they need to break in a bit more. No big deal. It does happen. But going back to what I just said, if a person likes a gun, they're going to go out of their way to shoot it. If a person doesn't like a gun, or they're going to quit shooting it pretty quickly. And face it, a lot of people on the internet, they receive the product for free. They have obligations to make videos about that gun. They make one, they get paid, they don't get paid, they get a free gun, they get whatever they get. And they just never make a video about it again because maybe they didn't actually like it. All right, we're going to shoot it right-handed. We're going to shoot it right-handed for the sake of my thumb. Maybe not. Shouldn't do that. It's terrible. Wow, am I shooting that thing high? Now, I did change that back strap, so that's probably on me. I am holding the gun a bit different than yesterday. It feels better than in my hand, but I don't think I point the gun as well with that back strap. Wow. I suck. Trigger got me right there in the last one. All right, look. I do my best to be not so biased about these things. And we haven't had any reliability issues with the gun. The gun is shot fine. Hit my thumb. That's just a quirk of being left-handed. That's no big deal. But the comments are interesting. People say, well, this design is supposed to have less recoil. The barrel doesn't tilt. It should have less recoil, more accuracy. And honestly, I don't really see that. I just don't see it. Okay, let's fast forward through reloading and get back to it. Side note, we were able to put 15 rounds in the second magazine with no issues. The first one we could not. So we'll see what happens. Let's reload. Ridiculous. All right, so we currently only have, it says 12 rounds in there, right? So obviously we have the spring is not bending properly. Should hear that. And then I take this little guy here, and okay, it compressed at that time. It wouldn't compress it the first time. So I do think we have a magazine issue. And if you look, it shows the follower is actually all the way down there. I'll take apart those magazines. And knowing that we load them 15 at a time, there's actually 13 rounds in there, okay? So it's 13 rounds in there. The follower is always at the bottom on that one. It is what it is, but it's worth documenting just so you guys can see it. I'm sure it's fixable like everything else, but I did some research. MSRP on the gun without the optic is somewhere around 800 or so. On the gun broker right now, it looks like maybe the gun's listed for about 670 or so. That varies a little bit. You also got to factor in transfer fees, taxes, shipping into that price. It's different than walking into the actual store. We're able to put 15 in that one with 0 issues, okay? So let's, I don't have a pen out here. We'll just put a little dirt in the Kimber logo. Sure that won't hurt anything. And that way we have that one some kind of marked of maybe our issue lies there. All right, off we go. I think I'll change it back to that medium backstrap though. It feels better in my hand, but I do not like the way it shoots. Man, I shot right over that high left. You can see it hit the dirt behind it. And look at all that target right there. All the shots are just high. Oof. This is a terrible display of shooting, but it is what it is. Remember, some guns are meant for people. Sometimes you pick up a gun, it works well for you. Some guns just don't work well for some people. And this might be the case that I'm just not the biggest fan. That's thread protectors loose again, go figure. Also, I find it to be, it is incredibly snappy. Now, I thought that yesterday. When we pull the guns out, the first time I shoot the gun, I don't typically just bear down on the grip. I try to let the gun see how well it tracks, but I'm squeezing it pretty hard right now. I got a ton of muzzle jump. All right. Now that we have this marked, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 13 rounds. Let's see if we can get them in this magazine this time without any issues. So far, so good. And then it appears that the spring went down without any kind of issues this time, and we were able to load them without any issues. Remember, so there's only 13 in there, but that time the spring went down with no issues. All right, so last 13 rounds. Let's see how it does. Talked about this before. You got front slide serration, so as soon as you look at that, the slide stop works how it's supposed to work. All right, so 200 rounds in, we haven't had any kind of failure to feeds or malfunctions. We got a few little quirks that I'm not the biggest fan of. It may not matter to you. The magazine issue, we do need to look into that. We need to find out what's going on with the springs in here, because every time we load it, the magazine springs compress differently, which is interesting. Overall, right now, remember, don't make reviews. We're just shooting it. I am not the biggest fan. I feel like for no optic base model price, $800, there's just so many better options on the market, okay? Now, I know there's some Kimber loyalists out there who love it. I know there's some people who love the way it looks. It's aesthetically pleasing to them. I don't care about that. My number one thing is, how's the gun shoot? How's it function? How's the trigger? And that reset, that's a long, long ways from me, okay? Everybody's personal preference is different. Tomorrow, I guess tomorrow's the weekend. Monday, we'll pull it back out. We'll put 100 rounds through it and see what it does. I think we're going to head up the hill, pull out the RXM, and run some defensive ammo through it to see how that does with defensive ammo, okay? So 2 uploads in one day. I know, I'm going crazy. Thanks for watching.